Okay. Quickly recap. Everyone receiving the class notes, right? Daily? Anyone not? Srinath, your email
Sir.
ID, your given email ID was wrong here. You're not.
Yeah,
Your
actually,
mail was daily. It was booked.
yeah, sir. Yeah, I will give another email ID
Initially, your email
today.
ID. Yeah. Install the tool. SAS tool.
No, sir. I have some problems in my system. Somewhat drivers are missing.
Okay. Okay. Share your email ID. I'll send the notes daily.
Sure, sir. Sure. Today.
Okay. So others, everyone receiving the class notes right daily? Anyone not? Sadhvi, Swati.
Yes, I received it yesterday.
Yes, me too.
Fine. So quickly recap 2 minutes what we discussed next week. So yesterday we discussed the SAS data set object, right? So in that what are we discussed? Anyone Balaji? Tell me Balaji. What we discussed.
Rename, keep, drop, observation, sir.
Rename,
SAS data set options, sir.
SAS data set options I asked. So rename, keep, drop. But only these things we discussed, right? Okay. Okay. Tell me what is rename?
Rename music to rename the variable names.
To rename the variable names. Correct. Rename the variable names. Yep. Okay. What is keep and what is drop?
Keep is a required variable in the output data set, sir. Use it to keep the required variables in the output data set.
Use it to keep the required variables. Required variables in the output data set. Drop.
The variables which are not required in
data
the
set.
output data set.
Variables which are not required. Okay. Let me ask one. Okay, Deepa. Deepa, can you tell me, Deepa, what is first up and ops? I can't hear you. Yes, Deepa. You can unmute and you can speak. Sadhvi.
Yeah, first stops is like from which observation need to read the record.
First stops will take from
Which
observation? Which observation it will be. Okay, then what ops will take?
Up to which observation need to read.
Up to which observation it will be. Okay. So first ops will tell the start position, like ops will tell the stop position, correct? So that's it. Only these things we discussed, right, in the last class. Fine.
Recording in progress.
See the new topic today, informats and paths. Very important topic. Very, very important actually. Okay, because daily we'll use this one. Informats and formats. Okay. First, let me take some data. Observe this data. Data, my work library, I want to create a data set called student data. Length statement, student ID, I'm giving the length. In infile statement, I'm mentioning the data, I have my data length location. And as my data is separated by comma, so I'm using a DLM option. In input statement, I'm mentioning the variable name, student ID, date of birth, math, science, social. Okay. This is one program everyone knows. But if I run this program, I'm going to get an error. What is that? Can you tell me anyone?
Yeah, date won't be read.
Date won't be read, right? Why?
There are
Because it
9.
has characters,
Nine.
we have to give the
Yeah,
number.
numeric and character 9 letters.
Numeric characters and 9 letters. Yes, correct. So here, if you observe the data of birth, the data of birth, it's a character data. Numbers and characters that combined means it's a character data. This character data, I'm trying to read it as a numeric variable. That's the reason it won't read on the program. See, invalid data for the date of birth, invalid data for the date of birth, invalid data. Why it is invalid? Your data of birth you are mentioning as a numeric variable, but you are passing some characters data. Correct? Data of birth you are trying to read as a numeric variable, but you are passing some character data. It won't read. You will get a missing values only. I told you before, numeric variables will read only numeric data. Character variables will read both characters data and numeric data. Simple way. But here my requirement is I want to read the date of birth in a numeric variable only. At any cost, I want to read the date of birth in numeric variable only. How can I read it now? Another way, I want to read these dates. How can I read the dates? How SAS will read the dates, first of all? How SAS will read the dates? The first requirement, the final requirement is I want to read by end of this class, I want to read this date of birth is in a numeric variable. Okay. First of all, here SAS itself is not reading the dates only. You are getting the missing values. It's not reading. So we have to tell the SAS saying that this is the dates. Please read it. How to tell? How to read these dates?
That
Okay.
format statement, informant statements we use.
Okay, here this topic will coming to the pictures. Informats and formats. So first informats. Okay. So informats are used to read the data. First. How it will read? It will convert the non-standard data into standard data. Okay, what is non-standard? What is standard? Okay, keep it in hold. I'll tell you. So first, I told you to use it to read the data. How it will read? How to use the informant statement? See the syntax. Informant. Mention on which variable you want to apply the informant. And mention some informats. There are SAS some given. SAS itself is given some standard informats. Okay, you can use those informats and you can read the data. For example, you have to read the dates, you have date 9 format or date 7 format. Informant. YYMMDD 10 dot informant. MMDD YY 10 dot informant. Or DD MMYY 10 dot informant. So these all are informats. SAS itself is given. So according to the data, you can apply any of the informant and you can use it for reading the data. Okay, like this, there are so many others. I'm giving just small 3 to 4. I'm giving. Okay, now in this scenario, I want to read these dates. Okay, I'm going to apply informant statement. Informant, see the syntax. Informant, mention a variable. Which variable you want to read? Date of birth variable. So what is the informant I can apply to read these dates? According to the dates only you have to apply. So here this is actually a date. So I can use a date 9 dot. You can see 9 characters are there. That's why 9 dot. Easy way to remember. Okay. So that's it. Now run the program. See, previously it is not reading itself. Invalid data, invalid. Now it's reading. It doesn't have any errors, no warnings, no special notes. It reads correctly, 4 observation, 5 variables. Now go and check the data. Okay. What happened? You got some numbers and a date of birth variable. Previously you got some missing values. Now you got some numbers. What is these numbers? Now I can clearly understand one thing. Previously did not read. That's the reason you are getting missing value. Now SAS is reading the dates. But you got some numbers. What is this dates? What is these numbers? Right, agree? Now SAS is reading the dates. That's the reason you did not get any missing value. But he's reading the dates, he got some numbers. What is these numbers? How SAS will read the dates? We'll understand. Okay. See. Remember, always SAS will read the dates by taking one date as a reference date. SAS will read the dates by taking one date as a reference date. We will also call cutoff date. What is that one date? Is 1st January 1960. Is the reference date. Means by this date only, SAS will read all the dates in the calendar. How it will read? Okay. For example, 1960 is your cutoff year. Your reference year. 1960, 1961, 1962, 1963, 1964, 1965, 1970, 1980, 1990, 2000. Tell me, what is all these dates? Can I say these dates are after 1960 or next to 1960? All these years are after 1960 or next to 1960. Okay. What about this? 1959, 1958, 1957. What is these years?
Before 1960.
So before 1960. So all these years are before 1960, all these years are after 1960. I'm not specific about year, I'm more specific about date as well. 1st January 1960 is my reference date. 2nd January 1960, 3rd January 1960, 4th January 1960. Similarly, 31st January 31st December 1960. Now tell me, all these dates are after 1st January 1960 or else next to 1st January 1960? Agree? Okay. These are 31st December 1959. 30th December 1959, 29th December 1959, 28th December 1959. So what is all these dates? Before 1st January 1960. These dates are after 1st January 1960. Okay. Now, how SAS will read? So I told you this is the reference date. It's going to read it as a 0. The next date is going to read it as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like 31st December means 365 days. So it will read the other dates in the calendar by number of days from 1st January 1960. So 2nd January 1960 is just 1 day. 3rd January 2 days. 4th January 3 days from the 1st January 1960. Similarly, 31st 365 days from 1st January 1960. So SAS will read the dates like this by numbers. It is what is this numbers? The number of days from 1st January 1960. These are after dates. Then how it will read before dates? -1, -2, -3, -4. Like this it will. So these are before dates. That's the reading as in minus. So 1 day before, 2 days before, 3 days before, 4 days before. The SAS will read the dates by taking this date as a reference, the number of days from this date. Same way it was happened here. See, here given the data 1st January 1960. What is that? How SAS will read the 1st January 1960 as a 0. See, it is reading as a 0. Observe. 31st December 1959. How it will read? 31st December 1959. Supposed to read as a -1. So it is reading as a -1. Next is 31st December 1960. 31st December 1960. 365 days. 365 days. 17th June 2030. 17th June 2030. Calculate approximately how many days. 2013 minus 1960. How many years? 53 years.
53.
Approximately 365 days. How many days? 19,000 days. check 19,000 days are there approximately. They're not calculated exactly. Approximately 19,000 days. Correct? It's coming nearby. So this is how the SAS will read the dates by taking this date as a reference. It will read any date in the calendar. So what it is doing here, so it is converting your non-standard data to a standard data. For a SAS, it is non-standard data. The given dates are non-standard. SAS can understand these dates. These are the numbers. So SAS will convert in their understanding format. Correct? So the non-standard is not for us. For a SAS, it is the non-standard data. For a SAS, this is the standard data. That's the reason it will read the data. When you apply in format, it will read and it will convert into a SAS understanding format. That's why these numbers. Clear now? How SAS is reading the dates and why you are getting these numbers? So first you have to read the dates. How? Very simple, by applying the in format. When you apply in format on particular variable, if you apply in format, it will read those dates. And it will convert into a standard numbers like this. Clear up to here? Any confusions? Anything? Anyone?
SAS can be converted into the non-standard to standard data. That's it, sir.
When you apply in format.
Okay,
When
thank
you
you.
apply in format, yes, on the particular variable, if you apply, you read the data according to the same in format, then what it will do? While at the time of reading the data from the given data, so it will convert a non-standard data to a standard SAS understanding format. Data. Clear? Okay. Now everyone is clear. Now we cannot submit this data set to a client or customer, right? You may not understand what is these numbers. You may be a SAS programmer, you may know how he knows the client. You cannot submit to them anyone, right? For example, you are some other people. Tell me your date of birth means if you tell 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, what is it? Who will understand that number? He'll understand, okay, the number is okay, September 1980. 1st September 1980. If you tell the date of birth like this, okay. He understands something. You will tell some random 1, 3, 5, 7, 6. This is my date of birth, means who will understand? These all look same, right? We can't submit this data to a customer or client. So you need in a standard format. That's the reason. The next is formats will come into the picture. Okay. Formats are used to write the data. Means in which format you need your output. In which format need output. Which format you want to present your output, or you want to display your output, or you want to appearance the output. In which format you want to present or you want to display, you want to appear your final output. That time you have to use a formats concept. Okay, see the syntax. Just mention the format and which variable you want to apply the format, and then mention the formats in which format you want. Then apply in any format. Same in formats. SAS also given same in formats and formats. Here also you can use it. Now you can apply any format. Which format you need your output? You want date 7 format, your output, or a MMDDY format, or YYMMD format, which format you want, you can apply here. So for example, I need my output in a date9 format only as of now. So your output going to come in a date9 format. See, run the program. See the log. Student data is created, 4 observations, 5 variables. See, it's reading in a standard format, 1st January 1960, 31st December, 31 December. Now you can send this data set to a customer, he can understand easily. Clear? What is our final requirement? Date of birth variable, you want to read it, and that to the numeric data type. See? Date of birth variable, I'm reading as a numeric variable. Type is data, type is number. Number is nothing but that numeric. I'm reading the date of birth as a numeric variable by applying the information formats. Clear? My requirement was fulfilled. I read the variable, date of birth variables, date of birth observations. I read every observation and also in a numeric data type. Clear? So this is how we can apply informats and formats. So first of all, informats, first we'll read the data, then formats we'll use to write the data. In which format you want your output. For example, here, I want my output data set, date of birth in a YYMMDD10 dot. So always your informant will be constant, depends on your raw data. In raw data, in which format is there, the same informant you have to apply. There is no chance to change. But on a format statement, you can change it, depends on your requirement. For example, I need my output data set. Previously, I created output data set in a date9 format. Now I need in a date YYMMDD10 dot format. See? Output, my date of birth is coming in YYMMDD. 10 dot, 10 means 10 characters. Count special, including special characters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4 plus 4, 8, 10. Simple. Okay, when you mention the 8 dot means year will not come fully. But the difference means 8 dot and 10 dot means generally year will not come fully. 8 dot means year will not come fully. Previous 1960, 1959, it will come, right? 1960 is 59. So like this it will come. So this format you can change it, depends on your requirement. But in format, it's always depends on your raw data. How the raw data is there, according to that raw data, you have to apply that in format name. Okay, so informats are used to read the data, formats are used to write the data. Understand the concept, everyone? Any doubts?
Here, data 9, 7, 10, all these are like based on the numerics and characters, or else we can give whatever we want. Like whatever requirement we need,
On
we
the
have to give
numeric,
them.
not it's based on the given data. How your dates
Yes.
are given, according to that you can use a date 7. If your year was not fully given, it's a date 7. Okay, let me give sample. Okay, let me give the list of standard informats and formats we regularly will use in real time. Okay. Okay. Date 9 dot means 17th November 2022. If the dates was like this, you can use date 9. Date 7 dot 17th November 2020. So year will not come fully. Okay. YYMMDD 10 dot. YYMMDD. The dates are like this. You can use YYMMD 10 because 10 characters are there. Like we can use YYMMDD by 22 slash. If the data was like this, also you can use. Okay.
Yeah, clear.
MMDD YY 10. So MM will come first. 11, 17, 20, 22. 11, 17, 20, 20. 11, 17, 20. DD MM YY 10. 17, 17th November 2020. 17th November. Okay. For example, YYMMDD 8 dot means here will not come to you. Okay. Here last 2 digits only. Next, not only dates. Okay. This concept, not only dates, even though years also. Okay, 1 second. Yeah. So not only these dates as well. For example, if you have time like this, time 8 dot in format or format you can use. For example, you have a time 8:30, 56 seconds a day. If you want to read that in a given raw data, they're given the time to you. Will you able to read this time directly as a numeric variable? The data was given like this. Will you directly able to read as a numeric variable? Will you able to read? No, right? Why? Because it contains a special characters, right? How can I read it as a numeric variable directly? You can't read it. That's the reason you have to apply informats, then you have to apply formats. The informat will convert this time into standard number, then into it convert into which format you want. Okay, like this. Sometimes if your date and time together is there. The date and time together. Sometimes dates and time together they given. To read this type of data, we use date time 20 format. You have one more category also, comma format, comma 8 dot. Means if the data was like this, 1,22,569 rupees. See, if you have a commas like this, will you able to read it directly? You can't read it because you have special characters. How can you read it as a numeric variable? So you have to apply in format or formats. Okay, here 8 dot means up to 8 characters it will take. Okay, comma 8.2. So 1 lakh, you can write it down, comma 10 dot also, no problem. 1,22,569 dot 2. Means 10 dot means up to 10 digits it will read before decimal. After decimal, 2 digits I'm reading. Up to digits only it will read. If the data was like this, you can use it. Comma format. One more, one last category was there. Dollar formats also. $9 dot. For example, $1,22,569. So if you have a dollars in your data, you use dollar format. Similarly, this decimal concept will apply here as well. Dot 2 means after decimal, it will read the 2 digits. Clear? So depends on your data, you have to use the respective information formats. So like this, we have so many information formats are there in the total SAS. I'll give some list of informats and formats. Oh, here itself. Right. There are so many formats are there. You can refer it, but all are not required, much required in real time. When you want to real time, you can refer anything. Okay. I can give in chat box this link as well. Notes also I'll send. If you want to explore it, you can explore it. But what I am giving the notes, those are these are most commonly used information. Okay. Clear?
So is there any standard, you have said that they saying that 96 is the standard, that means different data. Like this data.
Sorry, Mahbub, your voice was completely breaking. It's not, I can't understand one word also.
Okay. Okay.
Can you check your mic? So always it will be the same. Adjust your mic or else remove the mic and speak in speaker. Computer speaker. Okay. Clear everyone? Understand?
Yeah,
So
Sudarshan,
yeah.
I have one query. So, whenever we want to change the non-standard format to standard format, every time we have to use this both in format and format.
Correct. So first using in format, you are converting. Then using formatting, you have to apply in which format you need your output data set. Okay. Without converting, you cannot apply the format. Okay.
Okay.
So maybe in the assumption that okay, I won't give in format directly, I'll give format. It won't apply, it won't happen. Okay. First you have to tell us as okay, first you read the data, convert into standard format, then you apply the format. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Any one will not work. Okay, both will work together.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I'll give one more example. Let me give one. Read this data. Infile data likes input state input name, date of birth, time of birth, salary. Okay. This is the data I have. I have data like this. In date alone, I want to read it as a character variable. Remaining everything I want to read as a numeric variable. Okay. ABC. The date of birth is YY AMM D. MM D. Time of birth 8:30 56. Salary is 5,20,000 with the salary. Okay. Similarly, DF salary is 1990 02 some 25 10 30 55 seconds. Salary is 4,20,000. HI 1985 05 15 12 30 56 seconds. 6,50,000. I want to read this data and create a data set. Okay. Now tell me guys what to do. If apply as a normal program, see, it was showing that invalid date of birth, invalid time of birth, invalid salary. Invalid date of birth, time of birth, salary. Because date of birth also have a special characters. It won't read directly as a numeric variable. Even your time of birth also have a special characters. It won't read as a character numeric variable. Even your salary also have a commas. It won't read as a numeric variable. Okay. Now what can I do? Tell me. Can you complete this program? Anyone?
You have to use like informat and format.
Okay, tell me what how to use in format, how to use the format.
Informat,
In format,
DD 20 characters, DD. Oh no, sorry, sir. YY.
okay, you can refer it here. So many are there.
Okay. So date time 20, sir.
It is not combined, it is separated, so that you should not use 20.
I think third command, sir.
Okay.
DDMMYY 10.
No, it's like
Why so much confusing?
year, month, day.
Year, month, date, and 10 thought.
What I have to write here? In format, for which variable you are applying?
Date of birth, DOD.
Then date of birth, in format, then tell me the format. In format, YY, MM, DD, 10.
And also
Next.
time of birth, TOB.
Time of birth.
Time 8 dot.
8,
Time 8 dot.
time 8, yeah.
For salary.
Salary
Salary also
So
8.
8.
8, comma 8 dot.
Comma 8 dot, yeah.
That's it. Check whether it is reading or not. All the three variables are reading. Date of birth, time of birth, salaries. But date of birth, time of birth, even salaries also I need in some other formats. If you need, what you will do? These are standard numbers, right? No one can understand time of birth, date of birth is. Okay.
We want to use the format.
Informat and format. Format also.
So in which format you want?
Date of birth.
You want the same format?
Same format, right? Same format.
If you want the same format, you can apply same thing. Okay. Read the log. No errors. So your date of birth is coming in YYMMDD 10 dot. Time of birth is coming in time 8 format. Salary is coming in comma format. Okay. Go and check the properties. What is our final requirement? I want to read the three variables in the numeric data type. I'm reading. That way in a C, date of birth, I applied a YYMMDD on 10 dot and in format. Time your in format and format, comma 8 in format. Okay, clear? That's it. You can also, while applying a format, not only same format, if you want any other format, if you want to apply, you can apply. For example, if we give date 9 dot means your output data set will come in the date 9 format. Okay. For example, salary dot 2. If I apply, I don't have any decimals, but still. See. Date of birth is coming in a date 9 format. Salary is coming in comma 8.2. So with the decimals is coming. Okay. So like this, depends on your final output. You want to see your output data set. According to that, you have to apply the format. How your data is there, according to that, you have to write in format statement. So in format statement has come. Clear? So this is how the informats and format concept. Okay. So I'm not giving an example for each informant and format because going forward, most of in our programs, any of these informats and formats will use. Okay. So basically understand the concept. When you apply informant, when to apply format. Any confusions, any doubts, anyone have? Okay. If doesn't have anything, let's move to another topic, column modifiers. Yeah, one more thing is column modifier. Column is nothing but this one, column. What is the per usage of this column modifier? Okay, we have two usages for this column modifier, which is one. Okay, may take some data. See here. Here, our data, accounts data set temporary create, in length statement per account transaction type, I'm giving the 15 characters length I'm giving. In infile statement, my data is available data lines location. My data is separated by commas. I'm using a DLM option. In input statement, I'm mentioning the variable account ID, customer name, account transaction type, amount. Okay. So this program knows everyone. Okay. Here, what is happening? Check. Accounts dataset is created. So it's coming transaction type, account ID, customer name, amount. So here the transaction type variable length we gave as a 15 characters. Correct? And a length statement we gave, right? Okay. Here what is happening means, here I gave the input statement, I gave the variables in the order, account ID, customer name, transaction type, amount, correct? But I got output data set, transaction type, account ID, customer name, amount. Why? It's coming in this order. Because of the length statement.
Use length statement.
Because of the length statement. Why? On length statement, which variable will mention, that variable is coming in the first place. Correct? But I don't want like that. I want the variables in this order only. And I want to give the length as well. I want to give the transaction type variable length as 15 characters. And I want to in this order only. Okay.
Will you length statement for the account ID also?
Yeah, we can give it. But I don't want to give. What do you do?
You have to use column modifier.
Oh, how to use the column modifier?
Yeah.
Okay. Column modifier use it to avoid the length statement. Length statement that too for what? Length statement for character variables. Okay. See, here am I avoiding the length statement itself. I'm going to give this length here only. Transaction type variable. I'm using the colon modifier. I'm giving the length here. Okay. Now run the program. See the log. No errors, no warnings. See, it's coming in the same order. Account ID, customer name, transaction type, amount. Same order as per the input statement. In which order is there? In the same order I need. I got the same order. And also it's giving the length also 15 characters. So this colon modifier will be helpful to assign the length actually. You can directly assign the variable length on a input statement itself using colon modifier. That's what the usage. You can avoid the length statement using the colon modifier. Okay, no need to mention there. You can directly mention here itself. But see, I'm trying to give the length for a numeric variable. Consider. It's considering right. Sometimes you don't consider it. See, length is not changing. It's reading properly only because 8 characters only there. Length is not changing. That's why. Don't throw in error. But length was not assigning. Because this colon modifier, it will assign the length for character variables. Okay. If you want to give the length statement for a amount variable, you have to give here in a length statement. Okay. Then only it will work. Otherwise it won't work. Clear? So we can avoid the length statement for character variables. We can directly give the length for character variable on a input statement itself using colon modifier. This is the usage. Okay. You have one more usage also for this colon modifier. Is we can avoid the informat statement. Check the above program. For example, this program is there. So here informat statement, format statement, you're writing separately, right? If you're writing separately, this informat name, directly you can give it here itself. And you can avoid this informat statement. Variable name, colon modifier, mention that informat name directly here only. Still it is working. Run the program. See the log. No errors, no warnings. See, it is reading the data and it is also converting to applying the format as well. Okay. So like this, we can avoid the informat statement also using this colon modifier. Okay. So these are the two usages you have using colon modifier. Clear? Next. Retain statement. Data, class 1 dataset I'm creating, set class. So when you copy the dataset, however the variables in which order it is there, in the same order, in output dataset also variables will come in the same order. Name, sex, age, height, weight. Same order it will come according to your input dataset. but I don't want in this order in my output data set. I want name, height, weight, then sex, age. So while reading from your input data set only, I want to read it in the order of name, height, weight, then sex, age. So that time, simply use a retain statement. In a retain statement, variables in which order you mentioned, in the same order it will come in the output data set. See, on the program, class 1 data set is created. See, now it's coming in name, height, weight, sex, age. Clear? So while you are reading the data, if I apply some length statements and all, generally it is changing the order, right? To make your order later, the next step, you can use a retain step. You can use a retain statement and you can keep it in the order. Okay. Retain statement, use it to retain the variables. Retain the variables and also keep it in order as specified in the retain. Okay. That's about retain. Clear? Column modifier and retain statement also. Okay. Clear? Any doubts? Okay. Okay, good question. Someone asked any reference for that time. Yes. So Mabu, your question was what any reference for the time? Yes, you have reference for time also. 0 hours, 0 minutes, 0 seconds. Okay. For a time, it is the reference is reference for time is 0 hours, 0 minutes, 0 seconds. Okay. Hours, minutes, and seconds. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Any more questions, anyone? So that's it I have for today. If you have questions, anything you can ask. Else, we close for today. Tomorrow we'll continue with the fresh topic.
Recording
Sir.
stopped.
Yeah.
Sir, just a small question, sir. Right. Whatever the statement that you have saying retained, that column modified, this one in format or format, these all will be applicable both for in files as well as set data also, sir. Set statement and
Yeah. Okay.
there any
So your question
specification like
was- yeah. Understand. So in file is in the sense you while you're reading the data, you are applying the informats and formats and return statements and column modifiers, correct? Yes.
okay.
It will applicable for informats and formats while reading the data and while reading the from any data set also. Yes, we can apply informat and format because you on a variable level you are applying.
Okay.
Okay. Here informats and formats you are applying on a variable level. So while you are reading from the raw data or while you are reading from the data set also you can apply. That doesn't a problem. Okay. Now come to column modifier. What is a column modifier? Column modifier you have to use an input statement only. When you use input statement, when you read the data only, correct?
Yes.
And a set statement means set is your already an existing data set is there. you'll read that data set you're reading. That time input statement itself not required. So that time you won't write an input statement. You won't use a column modifier. Clear?
That means column modifier is specific for input statement only.
That's what, right. And a variable name you can give the here. Where you will give variable names on input statement while you are reading. When you come to retain statement, yes, while reading from the data set, you can retain.
Okay.
Once the variables are created only, you can retain in the which order you want.
Okay.
Okay.
That means return statement is specific for set statement, and semicolon modifier is specific for a input statement.
Okay. Same way.
Okay. Okay.
See, you cannot remember like you don't remember like that. Okay. You understand. Okay, when you're reading the data, when you're reading from the data set.
Okay. Okay.
So understand in that sense.
Okay, sir. Okay.
How your understanding is important. Okay. So same return statement, why can't you write it here itself? You can also write it here. You create a variables. You can write it here also. Let's try it and make it work. Retain in which variables you want to order. Okay, student ID. Maths, science, social. Then data. You are retaining the variables. Student data 1. Student ID, maths, science, social. Data birth is coming. You are retaining the variables, right?
Okay.
Yes. It's working here also. That's why I was telling don't remember with whether it's a set statement or data. So it depends on the how you are applying. On a variables you are applying, how? While reading you are applying, or you are reading from the data set, or you are reading from the raw data. You remember in that sense. Okay, everything, not only this one, everything. Understand the usage, understand the meaning of that particular.
Okay.
Anything? Any more? Okay. So that's it for remaining. So we'll close for today. Still tool installation is pending for anyone. Please reach out to me. Finish as early as possible your tool installation. Okay. Okay, done. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.